friends, Takideris, and today I'm going to be talking about something pretty spooky. So I know that every country probably has its own secret lists of really weird laws that make you think, who took the time to pass this law when there's so many other problems in the world? And Japan is no exception to that. I know of a couple of laws that will make you raise your eyebrows. I've actually made a video in the past talking about weird laws in Japan if you guys want to check that out. But I know from the top of my head that some of those weird laws include how it's illegal to clone yourself, it's illegal to put your ice cream in another person's mailbox, and you also have to let the government know ahead of time before you travel to Antarctica, otherwise you can get arrested. Those are just some examples that I have just at the top of my head. If you guys want to see more, such as like how I guess you're not supposed to have a ponytail in high school, don't know if that's still a thing, you guys can go check out that video. But I just wanted to point out that these are just a few little examples that you can get arrested for. And in today's video, I want to talk about something else that you can also get arrested for, and it is for performing a curse ritual called Ushi no Toki Mairi, which directly translates to the Ox Hour Shrine Visit. Just to give you some background on this, the Ushi no Toki Mairi ritual is something that's existed since the 1600s. We're talking about since the Edo period of Japan. And it was believed that back then there was a woman, a scorned woman, who wore all white, who had 3 candles attached to her head, took a straw doll that we call the wara ningyo, a Japanese straw doll, took it and nailed it to a sacred tree at a Shinto shrine. And it has now become a very famous or infamous ritual that's actually been referenced in a lot of mainstream media. And I'll list a couple of them out for you. I know that the biggest one that actually references this directly is Jujutsu Kaisen, which many of you know about. There is literally an attack where the character takes a straw doll and nails through it in order to destroy the monsters. There's another one in Pokemon. Since the very beginning, there's a move that Pokemon can do called Curse. And if you use it, you'll see a nail being nailed through another Pokemon. And this is a direct correlation with this ritual. There's another one where there's a character of Junji Ito that is pretty much self-explanatory. I mean, look at that. 3 candles, the nails, the straw doll, everything. I know that in the Fatal Frame series, one of the games has a part where when you're walking through the forest, you'll come across a tree that has literally millions of straw dolls attached to it. So it's a really, really creepy kind of urban legend that people have also started cosplaying for Halloween. It's become a very popular thing in terms of just urban and creepy stories, but that doesn't mean that it's not taken seriously. It's not something that's just a make-believe or something that people just say. There are actually a lot of people in Japan that take it seriously, which is why if you visit Japan, don't expect that when you go to a touristy store or look at some stalls that you're going to be finding this straw doll anytime soon. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible to find here. I actually happen to have one right here on my desk. It's very important to protect yourself, not only in Japan, but just in general, especially on the internet where you don't want to be stalked or hacked. When you want to just live your life and just watch anime or read doujins or manga. And luckily for me, that's why I use NordVPN in order to view some of this content. Hi. Even if you don't live in Japan, I'm sure that many of you have come across this dilemma once or twice in your life, but NordVPN can help you access content from all over the world from different countries and access it as if you're in that country so that websites don't kick you out for thinking that you're some psychotic hacker or stalker. Like, I'm just trying to watch a couple of films, maybe read a couple of doujins online, and that's it. And I really just don't want to risk being stalked or hacked when I'm just trying to live my life. But you can access NordVPN by going into the link in the description below or by going to nordvpn.com/Aki. You'll be supporting this channel as well as doing yourself a favor by adding extra security. Now let's get back into the video. Speaking of protection, something I definitely believe in this world is karma. Do unto others as you would want unto you. And if you do that, then hopefully you can protect yourself by not having somebody perform this ritual. And you might be wondering, what did I have to do to get my hands on this? I had to open up an Amazon account and go to Amazon Japan, get express shipping. But the reason I bought this was just for a Halloween decoration. I thought this would be the perfect time to actually share what this even means. And also a good time to show you guys my wara ningyo earrings that a Japanese artist also made. Now let's talk about the more serious part of this, being arrested for committing this ritual. So the way that this ritual works is that between the hours of 1 and 3 a.m. every day for a week, you go there, and dressed up just like the woman with 3 candles around your head, and you have to nail this to the tree with someone in mind that you want to target, whether you want them hurt, whether you want them dead. And the catch is that when you do this every day for a week, you have to do it without getting caught. And if you do get caught, then the curse will not work. I'm just going to read you guys the Wikipedia page here about the legalities of performing this. So it says here that in Japanese law studies, attempts to commit murder through the ritual is often cited as the textbook example of the impossibility defense case crime. Now, I was looking this up, and basically the impossibility defense case crime means that you are accused of a crime that only failed because it is literally impossible to commit, such as a ritual if you are not someone that is superstitious. Now, can you actually go to jail for this? I'm not a lawyer, but I don't really see that happening, but I can also understand why you would get arrested. For one, you'd be desecrating a very holy area of Japan. Shrines are very much protected and taken very seriously here, so to just nail something to a tree and for your own selfish desires is just something that is not very well appreciated here. So if you're caught doing that, you will get arrested. In fact, somebody did get arrested for that, and I'll get to that in a bit. But another reason I can see you getting arrested is also because, let's say if you perform the ritual and then your target of choice dies like a week later. If I was a lawyer and I don't believe in any of this, I could at least say, wow, you cared for this person to die enough to even perform that ritual, and now they're dead. So I'm going to guess you probably performed the ritual, it didn't work, so you took it into your own hands to kill that person. Okay, so last year there was a case where somebody did perform this ritual and they were arrested, and I'm gonna read that off to you guys right now. On May 24th, a male shrine official located near a station found a straw doll nailed onto the shrine's sacred tree. Paper with a picture resembling Vladimir Putin was attached to the doll's head, and 2 nails were affixed on the head and the chest, and upon discussion, the shrine reported the case to the police. The doll was later apparently burned after purifying it with salt and sake. The sacred tree is the community symbol, which has also been placed under a tree preservation designation by the city. The shrine official said, "I can understand the feeling of wanting the war to end, but please stop doing such things to the sacred tree." A piece of paper was also found inserted into the doll, and it read, "Vladimir Putin, born on October 7, 1952, age 70, wishing for his death." A security camera showed a man carrying a bag containing what appears to be a straw doll on his shoulder, heading towards the main shrine building shortly after noon on May 19th. Another camera showed this man heading toward the sacred tree after worshipping. And a few hundred meters from the shrine, another straw effigy was also found nailed up near a sacred rope wrapped around a tree at another shrine. A volunteer said, "I pray every day for peace to come to Ukraine soon, but this is not the right way to do it." Now, obviously, there was a lot of criticism on this, and I was on Japanese Twitter, and a lot of the people that were criticizing weren't so much getting on who he was targeting. It's more so of the fact that he just desecrated a shrine. Obviously, everyone wants the war to end, and it's a terrible thing that what has happened in the past year. But obviously, like these people said, this isn't the right way to do it. You don't do these things at a shrine, as much as people know about this ritual. But this man actually not only did it at one shrine, it said that he actually did it at 10 shrines. I mean, looking at the way that this ritual is even done, let's say for those of you that are more believers in this, it wouldn't have worked anyway because the rule says that you have to go between 1 and 3 a.m. Now, the suspect was identified as a 72-year-old man, and when the officers went to his house to place him under arrest for the charges, he asked them just for that. I mean, like I said, I can understand why the guy got arrested because, again, it is a very holy place, but I can definitely see charges being pressed against him, which luckily wasn't the case for him. The shrine let him go and just said, okay, we're just going to take the doll and burn it. So maybe if he does it again, they'll talk a little bit more afterwards, but it looks like he was let off the hook with no charges whatsoever. I'll show you guys the doll one more time. So here it is, the Wara Ningyo, aka the Japanese straw doll. So here's the top of the head. It's just very packly tied in straw, and this comes with a red thread around it that packs it all in. It looks like a person, and then if you were nailing this up to a tree, you would nail it through here, and I think through here. I don't know why I'm teaching you guys that. Please don't do it. I just have it as like a little collector's item. I would never use it. Nah. Now there is one more doll that I actually think is worse. I'm just gonna be putting that on my TikTok because I don't think it's worth a 10-minute video, but it is pretty horrifying. So it's more free content for you guys. But there was also a time that a cannibal actually sent me something in the mail, and I don't want to make a video on that, but it will be on my Patreon. Yes, you heard me right. A cannibal sent me something in the mail, and I actually, as of the recording of this video, I haven't even looked at it. So if you guys want me to talk about more really weird and creepy stuff in Japan, let me know in the comments below. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Stay safe, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!